In the complex landscape of modern dating, there's often a vast, echoing canyon between what a man feels and what he is willing to verbalize. While we are conditioned to wait for grand declarations of love or the talk to define our worth in his life, the most profound truths are rarely found in scripted sentences. Instead, they are woven into the silent architecture of his daily behavior, the way his pupils dilate when you enter a room, the instinctive way he shields you from a crowd, or the incredible mental energy he spends archiving the smallest details of your life. When a man values your presence more than he admits, he isn't necessarily playing a game of emotional hide-and-seek. Often, he is navigating his own internal shift from independence to interdependence, a transition that can be as terrifying as it is exhilarating. This video is designed to bridge that gap, helping you decode the subtle, high-value signals that indicate you are no longer just a casual interest, but a central pillar of his emotional world. Understanding these 15 signs is crucial because men often express commitment through behavioral investment rather than verbal reassurance. To a man who is truly all in, showing up for you during a crisis or subconsciously mirroring your body language feels more honest and impactful than any three-word phrase. He may be hesitant to speak because words feel final, or perhaps because he is still processing the weight of how much power your presence holds over his mood and his future. As we dive into these psychological tells, it is important to look for consistency over intensity. Anyone can be attentive for a weekend, but the man who truly values you is the one whose small, protective instincts and silent check-ins remain steady over months. He is the man who treats your goals as his own and who finds excuses to close the physical gap between you, not out of possessiveness, but out of a biological need for your proximity. By the end of this breakdown, you won't just see his actions differently. You will understand the secret language of a man's respect and admiration. You will learn to recognize the safe haven he is trying to build for you, even if he hasn't yet found the words to invite you in. Whether you are navigating a new flame or looking for reassurance in a long-term partnership, these signs will give you the clarity to see exactly where you stand, right at the heart of his world. 1. Subconscious mirroring of your body language. When a man deeply values your presence, his nervous system begins to tune into yours through a biological phenomenon known as limbic synchrony. This isn't a conscious choice or a calculated move. It is a profound sign of rapport and emotional alignment. Mirroring occurs when he involuntarily adopts your physical posture, gestures, or even your speech patterns. If you lean in, he leans in. If you cross your legs or take a sip of your drink, you'll notice him doing the same moments later. This behavior is rooted in our evolutionary history. Mirroring is the brain's way of saying, I am like you, and I feel what you feel. Beyond simple physical mimicry, this sign indicates that he is hyper-focused on your energy. By reflecting your movements, he is subconsciously attempting to create a safe bubble where the two of you are in total harmony. It shows that he isn't just physically present, he is emotionally absorbed. When a man values you, he wants to be on your wavelength, and his body achieves this by bridging the gap between two separate individuals. You might notice him using the same slang or inside phrases that you use, or even matching the tempo of your breathing during a quiet moment. This level of synchronization is a powerful indicator of a deep, unspoken bond. It suggests that your presence has a stabilizing and magnetic effect on him, causing his subconscious mind to prioritize staying in sync with you above all else. In the world of behavioral analysis, this is one of the most reliable tells of secret admiration because it is nearly impossible to fake consistently. It is the body's natural response to being in the presence of someone who truly matters. 2. Consistent pursuit of micro-moments for physical proximity. A man who values you more than he admits will constantly find subtle, almost invisible ways to close the physical gap between you. These aren't necessarily grand romantic gestures like a hug or holding hands. Instead, they are micro-moments of proximity. He might choose the chair right next to yours in a group setting, or find a reason to walk closely beside you so your shoulders occasionally brush. This constant gravitating toward you is a sign that your physical presence provides him with a sense of comfort and dopamine that he doesn't get elsewhere. He is drawn to your space like a moth to a flame, often without even realizing he is doing it. These micro-moments serve as a barometer for his internal feelings. If he values you, being near you feels like home. You will notice that even in a crowded room, he somehow ends up standing within your immediate radius. He might reach over to show you something on his phone just to lean into your personal space, or he might linger a second longer than necessary when passing you an object. This behavior is driven by an underlying need for connection. He is testing the waters of intimacy without having to verbalize his feelings. By staying within your intimate zone, he is signaling that he feels safe with you and, more importantly, that he wants you to feel safe with him. It is a quiet, steady pursuit that reveals a high level of investment. While he might stay silent about his feelings to protect his ego, his constant physical orbiting around you speaks volumes about how much he cherishes the simple act of being near you. 3. Hyper-attentiveness to your smallest preferences and dislikes. When a man is deeply invested in someone, his brain begins to archive information about them with incredible precision. This goes far beyond remembering your birthday or your favorite color. It involves noticing the micro details that most people overlook. He remembers that you hate the texture of onions, that you prefer a specific type of pen, or that you get a certain look in your eyes when you're stressed. This hyper-attentiveness is a major sign of value because it requires significant mental energy. He isn't just hearing you, he is studying you. He values your presence so much that he wants to curate the world around you to make it better. This often manifests in stealth acts of service. For example, if you mentioned weeks ago that a specific scent gives you a headache, you'll notice he never wears that cologne or lights that candle when you're around. If you once said you liked an obscure brand of snack, he might randomly have it on his counter the next time you visit. By paying attention to these small things, he is demonstrating that your comfort is a priority for him. It is his way of showing love and appreciation without having to say the words. It proves that when you speak, you have his full, undivided attention. In a world where most people are distracted, this level of detail-oriented observation is a rare and precious gift. It shows that he views you as a unique individual worth knowing on a granular level, and he uses this knowledge to build a foundation of trust and care. 4. Instinctive protective shielding in crowded or unfamiliar spaces. This sign is rooted in the provider and protector instinct that many men feel towards someone they truly value. It isn't about being macho or overbearing. It is a quiet, instinctive shift in his behavior when the two of you are in public. You might notice him placing his hand on the small of your back to guide you through a crowd, or positioning himself between you and a chaotic street. If someone bumps into you, he is the first to notice and check if you're okay. This shielding behavior is a subconscious reaction to the value he places on your safety and well-being. He views you as something precious that needs to be guarded. This protective instinct also extends to emotional shielding. If he senses that a conversation is making you uncomfortable or that a particular person is draining your energy, he will subtly intervene to change the subject or provide you with an exit from the situation. He is constantly scanning the environment to ensure that your experience is positive. This behavior shows that he is not just thinking about himself when he is with you. He is thinking about the unit that the two of you form. He takes pride in being your safe harbor. While he may not admit how much he cares, his physical and emotional vigilance is a clear indicator that he sees himself as your partner in navigating the world. He values your presence so much that he feels a personal responsibility to ensure that nothing disturbs your peace of mind while you are with him. 5. The silent check-in through frequent eye contact. The way a man uses eye contact says more about his internal state than any sentence ever could. If he values your presence more than he admits, he will engage in what is called the silent check-in. Even when you aren't speaking to each other, perhaps you're both on your phones or talking to other people, you'll catch him looking at you. This isn't just a casual glance. It's a look of checking the temperature of the room. He is looking to see if you're laughing, if you're bored, or if you're okay. He is constantly seeking a visual anchor in you. When your eyes meet, he might give a small, knowing smile or a quick nod before looking away. This frequent eye contact is a sign of deep emotional preoccupation. You are the main character in his environment, and his eyes naturally gravitate toward you to confirm your presence and your mood. Research shows that prolonged eye contact releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which explains why he finds it hard to look away. This is also a way for him to build a secret language with you. A single look across a dinner table can communicate more than a 10-minute conversation. If he is constantly looking for your eyes in a room, it means he is looking for connection, validation, and a sense of shared reality. He values the unique connection you have, and these silent visual bridges are his way of maintaining that connection even when words are unnecessary. It is a quiet admission that, to him, you are the most interesting thing in the room. 6. Active listening that recalls details from past conversations. When a man deeply values your presence, his brain processes your words differently than those of a casual acquaintance. Most people engage in passive listening, where they hear the sounds but only retain the broad strokes of a story. However, a man who is emotionally invested in you practices active, high-retention listening. You will notice this when he brings up a specific name, a niche preference, or a passing comment you made weeks, or even months, prior. This is a profound psychological indicator because the human brain naturally filters out unimportant data to save energy. By retaining the smallest details of your life, he is subconsciously categorizing everything you say as high-priority information. This sign often manifests in his ability to follow up on things that matter to you without being prompted. If you mentioned an upcoming stressful meeting or a sick relative, he will remember to ask how it went or how they are doing. This shows that he isn't just waiting for his turn to speak. He is building a mental map of your world. He values your presence so much that he wants to understand the narrative of your life. In behavioral psychology, this is known as cognitive investment. It demonstrates that he sees a future with you, as he is actively collecting the data needed to support and relate to you long-term. When he recalls a small detail you forgot you even mentioned, it sends a powerful message. I see you, I hear you, and what you say has a permanent home in my mind. This level of attentiveness is one of the clearest signs that he cherishes the intellectual and emotional connection you share, even if he hasn't yet found the courage to say it out loud. 7. Seeking your validation before making significant decisions. A man who values your presence more than he admits will begin to weave your perspective into the fabric of his decision-making process. This doesn't mean he lacks independence. Rather, it signifies that he views you as a vital partner whose opinion carries immense weight. Whether he is considering a career move, a major purchase, or even a change in his personal routine, he will find a way to run it by you. He might frame it as a casual conversation, asking, "What do you think about this?" or "How would you handle this situation?" This is a subtle way of seeking your validation because your approval has become a benchmark for his own satisfaction. Psychologically, this behavior indicates a high level of respect and trust. By involving you in his internal world, he is signaling that he values your intellect and judgment. He isn't just looking for advice, he is looking for alignment. If he makes a choice that you support, it gives him a sense of security and confidence. This is a pre-commitment behavior. He is testing how your lives fit together and ensuring that his future trajectory is compatible with yours. Even if the decision is small, like what to wear to an event or which book to read next, the act of asking shows that he treasures your input. It reveals that he doesn't want to make moves in a vacuum. He wants his life to be a reflection of the shared values and tastes you are developing together. This invisible thread of consultation is a major sign that he sees you as his North Star, guiding him toward choices that would make you proud of him. 8. Involuntary smiling or softening of facial expressions upon your arrival. The human face has dozens of micromuscles that are notoriously difficult to control when hit with a sudden wave of genuine emotion. One of the most telling signs that a man values your presence is the micro-expression of joy that flashes across his face the moment you enter the room. This isn't a practiced, social smile. It is an involuntary softening of his features. You might notice his eyes crinkle at the corners, a Dutchan smile, his brow relax, or a genuine warmth take over his expression. This reaction is triggered by a sudden spike in oxytocin and dopamine, the feel-good chemicals that occur when he sees the person he cares about most. This softening of his social mask is especially significant if he is generally a stoic or serious person. If he is in a deep conversation or focused on a task, and his entire demeanor shifts the second he notices you, it proves that your presence is a powerful reset button for his mood. He may not even realize he is doing it. This physiological response is a biological admission of your importance to him. It shows that your presence alone is enough to bring him a sense of peace and happiness. Over time, you may notice that he looks at you with a soft gaze even when you aren't doing anything particularly special. This is the look of someone who is savoring the moment. Because this reaction is largely subconscious, it is a very honest form of communication. His face is telling the story that his words might be hiding, that seeing you is the highlight of his day, and that he feels a profound sense of relief and joy just by being in your orbit. 9. Prioritizing quality time over personal hobbies or routines. Time is the most valuable currency any human being has, and how a man spends it is the ultimate indicator of his priorities. If he values your presence more than he admits, you will notice a subtle but consistent shift in his schedule. He will start finding time for you, even when he is busy. He might skip his usual gym hour, stay up later than usual just to keep talking to you, or suggest a weekend activity that cuts into his personal recharge time. This isn't about him losing his identity. It's about him choosing to prioritize the us over the me. When a man is willing to disrupt his established routines to accommodate your presence, it is a clear sign of high value. This prioritization often happens quietly. He won't usually say, "I'm skipping my favorite show to be with you," because he doesn't want to make it feel like a sacrifice. Instead, he makes the choice seem natural and effortless. This behavior is driven by the fact that the time spent with you is more rewarding to him than his solo activities. He is voting with his feet, choosing your company over other options because your presence provides him with a unique sense of fulfillment. In the early stages of a deep connection, this is often where the scare comes in for a man. He realizes he is becoming dependent on the joy he gets from being with you. By consistently choosing to invest his hours in you, he is building a shared history and deepening the bond. It is a practical, real-world demonstration that you are at the top of his hierarchy of importance, regardless of what his verbal admissions might suggest. 10. Displaying emotional vulnerability and sharing personal fears. In many cultures, men are socialized to keep their fears, insecurities, and weaknesses hidden behind a wall of strength. Therefore, when a man begins to peel back those layers and show you his shadow side, it is a monumental sign that he values your presence on a soul-deep level. He isn't just sharing his highlights, he is sharing his struggles, his past failures, and his anxieties about the future. This level of emotional vulnerability is only possible when he feels an immense amount of safety and respect in your presence. He trusts you with the parts of himself that he hides from the rest of the world. This sign usually develops gradually. It might start with a story about a childhood disappointment or an admission of a current insecurity at work. By being vulnerable, he is essentially handing you a key to his emotional well-being. He values your presence because you provide this safe haven where he can truly be himself without judgment. This is a sign of extreme attachment. He isn't just looking for a partner for the good times. He is looking for someone who knows the real him and stays anyway. When a man opens up this way, he is subconsciously asking for your support and understanding, which creates a deep, unbreakable intimacy. It is his way of saying, "I trust you with my heart." Even if he remains guarded in other areas of his life, his willingness to be seen by you is the ultimate proof that your presence is the most valuable and trusted part of his life. 11. Subtle resource sharing involving his time, space, or belongings. When a man begins to value your presence on a deep, instinctual level, he naturally starts to dissolve the boundaries between mine and ours. This resource sharing is a biological and psychological sign of pair bonding. It often starts with small, almost imperceptible gestures, leaving a drawer empty for you, giving you the spare key to his apartment just in case, or insisting you wear his favorite hoodie when you're cold. These aren't just acts of kindness. They are territorial markers of inclusion. By integrating you into his physical world, he is subconsciously signaling that he views you as a permanent fixture in his life rather than a temporary guest. This behavior also extends to his most precious intangible resource, his future plans. You will notice him using we instead of I when talking about events months down the road. He shares his professional network, his specialized knowledge, and even his financial insights with you because he wants to see you succeed as much as he does. He views your success as his success. In the world of relationship psychology, this is known as inclusion of other in the self. He is literally expanding his sense of identity to include you. When he offers you his resources without hesitation, he is showing that he trusts you implicitly with the things he has worked hard to acquire. He values your presence so much that the concept of gatekeeping his life from you becomes unthinkable. It is a quiet, steady way of building a foundation for a shared life, proving that he is fully invested in your collective well-being and security. 12. The desire to introduce you to his inner social circle. For most men, their inner circle of friends and family acts as a sacred vault of their true identity. They are highly protective of who they allow into this space because these people know their history, their flaws, and their unfiltered selves. When a man is eager to introduce you to his closest friends or, even more significantly, his parents, it is a massive indicator of the value he places on your presence. He isn't just showing you off, he is seeking a collision of his two worlds. He wants the people he respects most to see the person he values most, hoping for a seamless integration that solidifies your place in his life. This process is often a litmus test for him. He pays close attention to how you interact with his tribe and, conversely, how they react to you. However, the true sign of value is when he defends your presence within that circle. If he proudly shares your accomplishments with his friends or ensures you feel included in inside jokes, he is signaling your high status to his social group. This public alignment is a form of claiming in social psychology. It shows he is proud to be associated with you and wants the world to know it. By bringing you into his inner sanctum, he is removing the hidden nature of the relationship and making it an official part of his reality. It is his way of saying that you aren't just a fleeting interest, but a significant person worthy of being known by those who matter most to him. 13. Showing genuine curiosity about your future ambitions and goals. A man who values you more than he admits will be intensely curious about where you are going in life. This goes beyond casual small talk. He wants to know the why behind your dreams. He asks deep, probing questions about your career aspirations, your travel bucket list, and your personal growth targets. This curiosity is a sign of long-term future casting. He is trying to understand if your trajectory aligns with his, and more importantly, how he can support you in reaching those milestones. He wants to be the person standing in the front row when you achieve your biggest goals. This interest is fueled by a desire to be your safe haven and your biggest cheerleader. You will notice that he remembers the specific hurdles you're facing and offers constructive feedback or encouragement when you're feeling discouraged. He doesn't feel threatened by your ambition. Instead, he is inspired by it. This is a sign of high-level emotional intelligence and security. By investing mental energy into your future, he is demonstrating that he sees you as a whole, evolving person, not just a character in his own story. He values your presence because you challenge him to think bigger and live better. When a man takes a genuine interest in your potential, he is admitting, without words, that he finds your mind and your spirit to be incredibly valuable. He wants to ensure that as you grow, the connection between the two of you grows even stronger, creating a partnership built on mutual elevation and shared success. 14. Consistent reliability and showing up during your difficult times. True value is rarely proven during the sunshine moments of a relationship. It is forged in the storms. A man who values your presence more than he admits will be remarkably consistent when things go wrong for you. Whether you're dealing with a flat tire, a family crisis, or a bad day at the office, he is the first person to reach out and the last person to leave. His reliability is his love language. He doesn't just offer thoughts and prayers, he offers tangible action. He shows up with coffee, handles the chores you're too stressed to do, or simply sits in silence with you while you process your emotions. This consistency is a sign of dependability commitment. He wants to be the most reliable person in your life because he wants you to view him as your primary source of support. By being your rock, He is proving that he is willing to carry your burdens alongside you. This behavior is a clear indicator that he values your peace of mind as much as his own. He doesn't see your problems as an inconvenience. He sees them as an opportunity to demonstrate his loyalty. In a world of ghosting and low-effort dating, this level of steadfastness is a rare jewel. It shows that he is playing the long game. He values your presence enough to protect it from the chaos of life, ensuring that no matter what happens, you never have to face it alone. His actions provide this secure attachment that allows the relationship to flourish into something deeply meaningful and enduring. 15. The long, lingering gaze when he thinks you aren't looking. There is a specific type of look that a man gives a woman he deeply cherishes. It is a gaze filled with a tenderness and a touch of disbelief that you are actually in his life. You will often catch him looking at you when you are doing something completely ordinary, like reading a book, laughing at a joke, or even just staring out a window. When you catch him, he might quickly look away or give a shy smile, but the intensity of that lingering gaze remains. This is the soul-level connection manifesting through the eyes. It is the visual equivalent of him taking a deep breath and feeling full. This gaze is a form of visual savoring. He is mentally capturing the image of you because, to him, you are the most beautiful thing he has ever seen, not just physically, but as a complete person. This look usually occurs during moments of quiet connection, where the noise of the world fades away and it's just the two of you. It is a sign that he is completely present in the moment and deeply grateful for your existence. This staring is a biological response to the high levels of dopamine and oxytocin you trigger in him. He is literally drinking you in. It is perhaps the most honest sign of all because it happens when he thinks his mask is on,